Well, we're not going to SummerSlam. It's too expensive. These tickets are through the roof, I tell you. It's Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin. That is Nick over in California. Down there in the UK is SoCal Val, and you are watching Sportskeeda Wrestling, the biggest party of the summer. Throw some brats on the grill. Brats. We're going with brats. It's a special occasion. It's SummerSlam, Detroit, Ford Field, the big show. A lot of emotional weight here, not just championships on the line. We're going to get into all of it. Are you guys feeling the hype for SummerSlam?
I'm feeling it. How about you, Nick?
Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm excited. I'm over here. I'm revved up about it. Let's go.
I am too. There's certain pay-per-views that get me really excited. Royal Rumble is one of my favorites, but SummerSlam just has a really fun feel. So I think we're all ready to, throw a bikini on, as you said, put a bratwurst on the grill and tailgate and watch with our friends.
We're a full year into the Triple H creative agenda here, even though people think Vince has a big influence and the big buyout and everything. We're a full year into it. SummerSlam was the first show he took over, but it was just like right there. And we're a full year into it right now. And then you see this massive main event. Let's just get right into it. We'll start at the top and work our way into the other big ones that are on the show. It is a Universal Championship match, the longest reigning world champion that everyone's talking about, Roman Reigns. Years of buildup with the Bloodline storyline, a family issue, tribal combat. He takes on Jey Uso. Let's get into predictions. Val, who do you got?
Well, listen, I have no apologies for being a Heyman girl. I have modeled for HeymanHustle.com. And not only that, but when I first met the man, I said, listen, I'm not a fan. I'm a student. I think he is the most brilliant person to be at the helm. And having Roman Reigns under his tutelage, I think, has really brought him into an even better era. But as you guys know, I think we're really living in the Roman Reigns era. I'm going with Roman Reigns. I'm a huge fan. I know that, there's a lot of family stuff involved. There's a lot of emotional, it's a bit of an emotional roller coaster in this one, which I love. I love a big story. I love when it's sort of like a deep soap opera kind of moment. So for me, Roman Reigns is going to be the victor. And I think he's had just such an amazing trajectory, especially since WrestleMania. So I'm going Roman. No apologies there.
Nick, it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to get angry about no matter what you pick here.
Well, as much as I would love to see Jey Uso dethrone the tribal chief and become the new tribal chief, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Roman Reigns is too strong right now. I got to go with Roman Reigns to retain.
Yeah.
I do too, because there's just so much on the line in terms of other things you can do. It doesn't mean that Jey doesn't deserve it, because that's the thing. I think there's kind of this consensus that like Jey deserves it ethically, but Roman's a big enough star, and everyone just has to bow to Roman. And I'm getting a sense of that's becoming too much. That's becoming, if they get you to believe for 3 seconds or two, let's be frank, 2.5 seconds. For 2.5 seconds, they get you to believe that he will lose. And they've gotten you to do it many, many times in this title reign. And it's all about him losing. They pinned him at Money in the Bank. Val, you were there. There was a, you felt how dare they pin Roman? Oh, beloved Roman. Because now you have that segment of fans that are like, there's no way you should even treat Roman as anything but the big guy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, he should stop being a dominating heel, and he should start being the old chicken shiz run from people heel. And he's evolving into that because he's declining, and he doesn't have this army of people around him, and he only has the tricks, and now he's going to get exposed. He'll get out of Detroit with the title, but it'll be clear that his time with the belt is very short. But here's another prediction. This is tribal combat. How much of the family is involved in here? There's been rumblings that one member of this family that people think is the real tribal chief, one Mr. Dwayne Johnson, known to mortals, but known to us wrestling fans as The Rock, could be involved with SummerSlam in some way. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but people saying he'll show up with Grayson Waller, but come on.
You know what? I feel like that in itself, that's what's going to keep me up watching this at a bizarre hour of the morning, really, in the UK, is the slight veil of, or are we shrouded in this secret? Is The Rock going to show up? Is he not? Even if it's a 2% chance, a 1% chance, I'm tuning in. So that's the power that The Rock has. Yes, nice eyebrow. Very good.
Thank you.
That's the power that The Rock has, so it gets me excited. Another thing a question I want to pose to both of you guys, Nick and Kev. What's scary about Roman's popularity is it's kind of reaching like a Cena status, where when he's so huge, it's like that's when it's almost like when the fans just start to turn on you. And I think we're seeing that happening. But What The Rock is going to do is maybe bring some legitimacy to that, maybe, or sort of like, it's also a big moment as far as ticket sales and pay-per-view sales, because again, you better believe I'm going to be tuning in to perhaps see The Rock. A little glimpse of DJ would be just lovely.
Oh,
Actors are on strike.
Right? Yeah.
And it's worth noting that WWE is not a part of the SAG-AFTRA. They're not a part of those unions. They operate completely, essentially outside of it. So there's a possibility there. But let's get to the other big matches on this show. Of course, this will be streaming, by the way, on Peacock in the United States and around the world on WWE Network. For those of you that don't know, just want to make sure you do know. The Undisputed Universal Championship, that's a big match on this show. Let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the newly created title that Seth Rollins is defending against Finn Balor, but also basically the entire Judgment Day, it feels like. Judgment Day, we'll be talking quite a bit about them. Who do you got, Nick? Who do you got, Rollins or Balor?
Well, I'm a Davenport, Iowa native, but I'm going against my boy. Not that I want to see him lose. I just think it's Finn Balor's time. He's lost to Seth in the past. He won the championship, had to give the championship back to Seth. Then he almost took the championship from him, and Damian Priest comes out, kind of delays everything, makes a little distraction, and he doesn't come away with the championship. So I think SummerSlam night is Finn Balor's night. I think the Judgment Day gets stronger, and they're going to hold down some more gold in that faction.
And now, Val, are you going to lean towards someone from the greater UK region here? Are you going to go with Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland's very own, or are you going to go with the man from Iowa?
I am going to go to Ireland's own. And what's funny is I wanted to have a healthy debate and be like, no, let's debate. But I have to agree with Nick here. I think it is Finn Balor's time. I'm a huge fan of Finn Balor. I've watched him from the NXT days onward and his Prince Devitt days, and he's amazing. I will say, obviously, he's taken a very dark path, a very, very dark path. But it's great to see him in his element. I think he's never been stronger than right now. As Nick said, this is his time. Definitely going with Finn Balor. Again, a huge Seth Rollins fan, if only for the fashion, by the way. My gosh, has he brought the fashion every pay-per-view. Seth Rollins, love it. But that aside, I think it is Finn Balor's moment, and I think he's in a position where he well deserves it. I think the fans would like to see it as well, as much as they've hated him. But I think it's his time for sure. And I wish that he has that moment that I think he deserves really well. And I think it's his time, as Nick said. Very well said.
Serves and slangs aside with the glamour of Seth Rollins, and I am fond of him as well. Know Seth from AAW, the big independent that he came up with in Chicago. I work with them. Yeah. And I'm always fond of him, and I've had a very significant interview with him. But there's just these writings on the wall where it feels like Judgment Day is not going to come out of this thing feeling any less big than they did going in. Yeah. And there's this compelling element of senior Money in the Bank. Damian Priest has that Money in the Bank briefcase. He already cost Balor a match, but there's still a faction together, and they're sustaining that, and they're wrecking everyone together, but they're going to build to a moment. And I think the Money in the Bank briefcase is going to play a factor in it. I did not feel this way a week ago, but we worked on this great video. It's up now on our Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel about why Balor does have the momentum. In terms of big title changes, I feel like this is the one that's the most significant. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Seth Rollins is coming out of this, but there's some injuries that have been talked about with Rollins that he's working through. Yeah. I think Finn Balor leaves Detroit reinvigorated and the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, but it would make Judgment Day stronger, which is kind of terrifying. So I don't know why we're wishing this upon the WWE universe. I don't know what's wrong with us. That's terrible.
Plenty of people in the locker room do not like our predictions for this
show. These are just predictions. It's not who we want to win. It's who we think's going to win.
We're not betting on anything, are we? That's for another show, I think.
Yeah. Let's get into the Women's Championship, WWE Women's Championship. Asuka defends against Bianca Belair and Charlotte. Val, who do you got? You know many of the top women in this business. I know you know the word on the street. You know all the dish. Who do you got?
I love all of them. Thank you. Especially women's matches is what I always look forward to. And that for me is the highlight always, just because I love my ladies of wrestling. I'm a huge fan of all these ladies, but I'm going to go with Bianca Belair because, again, going back to WrestleMania, the trajectory she's been on, she's so strong right now. I think she really deserves it. I'd love to have her have that moment for her. But again, I love all of them, but I got to say Bianca Belair. I think I've seen her in NXT, going up the ranks, as it were. And I would love to see her in this moment, to see her shine even brighter than she already has.
Well, I was torn on this match, but I listened to a podcast the other day and it had the original man, Ric Flair on there.
Woo!
And so, that pretty much decided it for me. I'm going with his daughter, Charlotte. She's going to take the championship back. That's just how I'm feeling. And everybody's going to be sitting there woos throughout the crowd after that. And that's just where I feel like it's going.
You pick Charlotte. That's adorable.
Well, none of us can agree. I think Asuka finds a way to get Misty and get out of this thing in Detroit, and she leaves with the title. And maybe we get a big solo affair with Bianca Belair and Charlotte on the other
Get Misty. That's amazing. Hashtag getting Misty.
Getting Misty. Getting Misty. Play Misty for me. All right, moving on. The Intercontinental Championship. I'm looking forward to this one. We have an interview up, by the way, with the Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. That is up right now on our Wrestle Binge channel, both those on YouTube. Gunther defends against Drew McIntyre, his fellow European compatriot. These two were a part of a big triple threat match that had Sheamus involved at WrestleMania, which I think was a very underrated match. Much talk about Drew McIntyre's time with WWE being limited, though that talk has cooled off, that maybe that he won't sign a new deal. I know that just hangs over it with internet wrestling fans, but let's talk about the reality here. Gunther is on a roll. He's been highly protected, much like Roman Reigns. He has the third longest reign as an Intercontinental Champion and could surpass some greats, including Honky Tonk Man, to become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I really, really think with WWE's pending expansion into Europe and the NXT European brand that they want Gunther to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I just don't see Drew getting this title. Though I think him getting it would cement him not leaving WWE. I just don't see him getting this title. I want him to, but I just don't see it, Val.
That breaks my heart. Now, listen, I was at Clash at the Castle, right? I was there. And I always think, you know what? I'm not that emotional when it comes to wrestling. I don't really play favorites. Let me tell you something. When Drew McIntyre did not win, I literally stood up, I grabbed him a purse, and I said, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm telling you, I was incensed. I had vitriol in my heart. I was so mad. So
your southern sass came out. You may be in the UK, but your southern sass came out there, Val. I grabbed my purse and I got my vitriol and I left.
That is nostril flares. My purse and my white wine as I was enjoying the show. I was out of there. But no, Drew McIntyre, I'm a huge fan, obviously, and I love that Drew. Not to get into his whole career, but I love that when Drew left WWE, he pulled a Ric Flair, right? He went global. He said, "All right, WWE, thanks for your time. I'm going to go make a name for myself and show you what a star I am." And did he ever? So yes, I would love Drew to have that opportunity. Gunther, who's terrifying, by the way, in person, on screen, terrified. I do love that he's representing NXT Europe. I love that it's a global nod to that, and maybe, hopefully, hey, being in the UK, things to come. That would be amazing. But of course, I'm going to go Drew. Drew deserves it. Drew is one of the hardest working people in this business. I can't even say his name without calling him Drew. My Scottish accent, but I'm definitely going with Drew for the win, and I think it would be a travesty to not let him win this title. Come on, kids. I'm going to grab my purse again. I know I'm going to be at home watching this, but I will grab my purse, and I'm going to leave.
Your own house.
I will leave my own house at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know where I'm going to go, but out of protest for Drew, I'm out, bro.
Well,
so, Nick, are you going to be grabbing your purse and leaving the house?
No, I'm going to break Val's heart again right now. And I'm going with the big bad Gunther. I think he's too powerful, man. I just don't see the belt coming off of his waist at SummerSlam. I think it would be great if Drew did win. I'm going to be rooting for him, but I just don't see it happening. I think Gunther's too powerful right now.
I'm in the same camp. I want Drew, but I just kind of know where this is going. And I don't mean that in a predictable way. Everyone thinks predictable is bad, but I don't think predictable is bad in this case because you get to see it portrayed and delivered on the hype that it is there. Let's keep it moving here. Another championship match. This one put together recently, United States Championship. It will be Austin Theory versus Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar going through several different matches to qualify for this. Unfortunately, won against his LWO faction member and the legendary Rey Mysterio, who got injured on SmackDown to qualify for this. That's unfortunate. Austin Theory, I think the bloom is off the rose with him as champion. I think Santos Escobar leaves Detroit as the new U.S. champ. What say you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm going with the LWO here. I think that, they want to get a title in that faction there. Would be great to have him beat Austin Theory. Everybody hates Austin Theory. And I just think that that's the way it's going to go on Saturday. LWO gets a championship belt in the faction.
Val, what say you? Have you had it with Austin? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there.
No, I have for sure. Speaking of stepping on, I'd like to step on Austin Theory. He is so infuriating. Yes. And I'll tell you what, he especially because he was so loved and pushed, and I literally went did I turn around and go, who is this kid? Like what? But I'll tell you something. I hate to say this, guys. I hate to break it to everyone watching. You can't argue with charisma. The kid has charisma. The kid has talent. Mm-hmm. He is still, obviously, as popular as he is, he's still making a name for himself in terms of the legends in the business. I got to go Austin. And I think we've only kind of seen the tip of the iceberg with him. It's a very sassy iceberg with attitude, but it's the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm.
Moving along, let's keep it going here. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, another major card featuring the women. This one been built to for months and months and months. Because Zoe Stark being added to the whole entire scenario at the side of Trish Stratus. Trish coming back out of retirement for this one. She's done it a handful of times in WWE, but certainly a longer run here, and certainly taking on a heel role. No longer the happy veteran. She came in angry, mean, and resentful. And what do you think of this one? I do think this has cooled off a little bit in terms of the personal issues, but I think it's more circumstantial with everything else on the card. I go with Becky Lynch having her moment over Trish at this show.
Tough one. You go, Nick. I'm too emotional to
okay.
Talk about it yet.
I'm going with the man as well, Becky Lynch, even though I mentioned the original man, Ric Flair, earlier. Now the new man, Becky Lynch she's not the new man. She's been the man. But Becky Lynch is going to come out on top on this. Trish, I love Trish Stratus, but I don't think she's going to be around as much as Becky Lynch anymore, in the WWE. So give Becky another push here. Let her get the W here. And that's where I think it's going to come.
All right, Val. Now you have to make your pick that doesn't aggravate all of Trish Stratus's friends that you do a podcast with. Okay?
Now I'm incensed because I'll tell you, you know how long Trish Stratus is going to be around? However long she damn well pleases. That's because she's Trish Stratus, okay? She can pick and choose. And the history of Trish Stratus, listen, I wouldn't even be in the business if it wasn't for Trish Stratus. I am the biggest fan in the world. I literally met her and cried. Now she's a friend of mine, and which is insane. I mean, I don't know what my life has become, but I'm definitely going with Trish. And I'll tell you why. I think she's doing something really interesting as far as the cerebral side of things. I think she's really gotten to Becky. I think she's gotten in her mind, in her head, in her social media, the post that she's been doing with the broken nose. She's making this such an emotional turmoil for Becky that I don't think Becky, who I love, by the way, and is a sweetheart, but because she's a sweetheart, I don't think she stands a chance to the wrath of Trish Stratus. And this is a side of Trish we've never really seen. Yes, we've seen her be ferocious and fierce, all while looking fierce, of course, as she does. My God, she looks better than ever. She must be a vampire.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Better than ever. Actually insulting. Yeah. But I think she's gotten ahead of Becky Lynch. And I think that Becky, as lovely as she is no match for Trish Stratus. And I say that with all due respect. It's Trish's game, and Becky's just playing in it. Sorry.
All right. I just thought revenge was coming up, but you've made a great case for it here.
Yeah,
you made an amazing case for it here. SummerSlam Battle Royal. This one was put together in the past couple of days, and there's obviously this one feels. Whenever they put one of these together, everyone's like, "Oh, it's just to make good to get people on the card." And I understand that, but it's 20 men that you can get on this card, 20 superstars you can get in here. And the first two superstars that are guaranteed spots of this. We'll get more in the days here up to SummerSlam. LA Knight and Sheamus. LA Knight is way over. He didn't get to advance in the United States Championship picture. He did not win Money in the Bank. A lot of people saying pull the trigger on him. I feel like this is his first big major win on a premium live event. I feel like this match is for him, or it's for a big return, and you reinsert a big name that is on the shelf waiting to come back from injury, and you put them in this battle royal match, and everyone just bumps and feeds for whoever that returning superstar may be. I'm going with LA Knight or a name coming back like a Bray Wyatt or a Randy Orton. What say you,
Steve Blackman? We don't know what's going to happen.
No, and it's SummerSlam. They're known for comebacks. Last year we saw a lot, and I would love to see that in this battle royal. But I'm gonna go with the man who's over with the crowd right now, just like you did, LA Knight. Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love LA Knight, but I had no idea of his, and I knew he was popular, but I had no idea until I was there. Which, by the way, in my Sportskeeda video, as I'm trying to tell you guys how it's going at the arena, people are going, "Yeah," and I'm like, I'm literally filming. Thanks, but that's how popular this man is. And again, not to drop names, he is a buddy of mine, and I will tell you, I have seen him come up through the ranks. And if you look at his career, he is one of the hardest working, the most resilient, just like a Shawn Spears or a Drew McIntyre that has come and gone and made a name for themselves on their own terms, which I love. I'm going to go with LA Knight. I would love to see him win again because Money in the Bank, that was my pick. I was disappointed, but I really want to see some returns. I want to see some surprises, and not just returns that might shock you. Like, again, hello, Steve Blackman. I wish for it every Rumble. I'm waiting for that.
The lethal weapon?
Listen, he's everyone's favorite obscure wrestler, and we're still waiting. We're waiting in the wings. But, or something, some comedy acts would be great to come back. And I love surprises. That's why I love a battle royal. But there's also some that we talk about returns, maybe just some more people that I think deserve some more time, some more shine. Listen, give me a Ziggler, give me a Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
These are guys that I go, where are they? Why are they not featured? So for that reason, I love the idea of a battle royal for people to kind of not just come back from out of the blue, but just to kind of have a little moment to shine. That's what I hope for this battle royal.
This match isn't official while we're taping and recording for you, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Rhea Ripley is one of the most talked about people in pro wrestling right now. She was a big part of NXT Great American Bash, helping Dominic Mysterio retain the North American Championship over NXT. Judgment Day, the faction, they are rolling the act of her and Dominic together as this kind of twisted bad romance thing. It is way, way over. She injured Liv Morgan, put her on the shelf. They lose the women's tag team titles, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Looks like we're going to get Raquel versus Rhea with a very kind of shotgunned build that could be put together for this kind of first, I would say more of an angle than a match at SummerSlam, it feels like.
Definitely. I just think, I love that they are, or hopefully going to add this match to the bill. But I think Rhea Ripley, just like Finn Balor, going to come out on top here, make the Judgment Day even stronger. She's not going to lose the belt right now. Mommy's too strong. So.
Mommy's another trending hashtag. Mommy's too strong. I agree. And here for those watching at home, people go, "Hey Val, why don't you wrestle?" Why don't I wrestle? Because there are women like Rhea Ripley running around, as tough as she is, and as terrifying and gorgeous at the same time. How does she do it? Yeah. She is such a powerhouse. And with all due respect to Raquel, honestly, I mean, Rhea Ripley is on an amazing path right now. It's terrifying, but I think. Yeah, I got to go Rhea here. If it does happen, I got to go Rhea in the sense that I'm terrified to say otherwise. She's terrified.
Yeah.
I that was the thing. I was like, just Rhea's too over right now to change anything. Yeah. It feels like. Let's get into this. This one really personal. Their third big match. I've enjoyed all of the matches between a man who had the biggest loss you could think of, a match everyone thought it was going to be his day. It wasn't at WrestleMania. And since then, he's had to deal with the beast. Cody Rhodes, his new documentary is out now on Peacock. It is called American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes. A lot of hype behind him. He gets into his third match with Brock Lesnar. I feel Brock Lesnar can lose, and he's still Brock Lesnar. And I feel you got to remind people that Cody Rhodes is still the American Nightmare on a big stage in Detroit. And no matter how this one goes, they didn't add a stipulation to this, and I thought they would. But I feel Cody Rhodes is going to get out of Motor City with the big win here. Nick, what say you?
Yeah, I agree with you here. You could go either way. Obviously, Brock is a beast. And I just think that they want to make Cody look even stronger than he is right now. And what better way to do that than to beat Brock twice in this year? So, that would be, I think that's what is going to happen there in Detroit.
Oh, now? You guys, I got to tell you, I'm too gun shy to say that I think Cody's going to win. Do I want Cody to win? Of course, but I wanted Cody to win at WrestleMania. And again, that purse was lifted up. And I was mad that he did not win WrestleMania. I was very upset. And I was the one crying when he kissed the baby at the ringside. Oh, my God, it was an emotional roller coaster for me. I do not think he's going to win. I want him to win. But because I've been so hurt before emotionally, I can't say I see that happening. Brock is so strong. Brock does a lot of things. Some things he doesn't do often is lose. Let's be honest. But Cody is amazing. I'm so proud of him. His documentary and his entire career has been amazing. I met him at like 16 years old, and to see the sophisticated, well-spoken, tremendous athlete and star he's become is just so lovely. But I think he's got his hands full with Brock Lesnar, and I don't see him pulling out a win here, unfortunately. Breaks my heart to say.
Nice.
Overall, SummerSlam on paper, we just ran down the matches, is a stacked show. This is like a really, really big show. And I thought last year's SummerSlam was a fun show overall. I kind of think that this one on paper can outdo it, just in terms of like what we can anticipate. There could be some predictable outcomes, but we're still excited for them. You can feel the energy. Yeah. The temperature in the water is still boiling hot. Let's get into it. SummerSlam. Make sure everything you need to know is at sportskeeda.com. Pull up the Sportskeeda app on your phone. You can get all the different things. If you just want to know what's going on with one individual wrestler, we can completely curate the whole thing about that one star that you want to know about. Go get it. It's available on Android, Apple, all those good devices, podcasts, blah, 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 all those things. You can follow Nick on the machines. Where do you go to follow Nick on the machines?
At nharksen24. That's NHARKSEN 24.
And Val, you never stop. You're all over the map. Where are we at now?
I know we have
some I know we have some grown ass women out there.
We do. We have Grown Ass Women TV starring myself, Mickey James, and Lisa Rivera, formerly known as Victoria in WWE, Tara in TNA. And that's every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. We're friends of Sportskeeda. And of course, I'm all over the socials. I was going to say Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore. Shout out to my ex at SoCal Twitter. Valerie on X, whatever the hell that means. Obviously, right. Instagram is my favorite official SoCal Val. All my links are here. And you guys, we have had such fun reporting for Sportskeeda. And as Kev said, anything you want to see as far as content, pre-post, current events, it's all on Sportskeeda Wrestling, and it's a pleasure to be with you guys.
All right. Yeah. Enjoy SummerSlam, everybody.
Yay.